Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another housing market update and forecast. We're going to take a look at the housing prices, how they've been going up, and the inventory. We're also going to talk about lumber prices and where they are today. So make sure to watch to the end of the video to get all of this information right now. So let's get into the video. So first, I want to talk about this story about the Colorado Springs home that was listed for $600,000 recently. This has been making it around the news headlines all over the place. So if there's any of you that haven't heard about this by any chance, then I'm going to talk about it really quickly right now just to give an idea of what the market is like right now. So there's a 5-bedroom Colorado Springs house on the market. They listed it for just under $600,000, and this is far above the average home price in Colorado Springs of around $400,000. But in this neighborhood that the house is in, most houses are worth around $750,000. But what's really been igniting the internet is the condition of the house versus the price of the house. So you may be thinking that, oh, it's listed at $600,000, so it'll probably sell a little more than that, and then there's going to be some renovations expected. But the crazy part is the house is in need of quite an extensive renovation. This used to be a rental property prior to 2019, and the former tenant stopped paying their rent and therefore got evicted right in the beginning of 2019. The tenant, however, was allowed to go back into the property to get their things. However, instead of getting their things, they decided to trash the property. And when I say trash, I mean trash. This is graffiti everywhere, paint on virtually every surface. They took a sledgehammer to some things, and they left meat and everything in the refrigerator, which ended up not having power, so it has left raw meat for a long time, which has stunk up the entire house. So you can imagine the smell of rotten meat for 1 or 2 years of having no power. So it's gotta be bad. And there was so much damage done to the property, the owner was unable to re-rent it out. So the owner was unable to make their mortgage payments on the property. So they were just about to get into foreclosure as the pandemic hit. And of course, when the pandemic hit, they stopped all foreclosures. So this house hasn't gone through the foreclosure process. But now with foreclosures beginning later this year, this seller needs to sell their house quickly. The owner expects around $150,000 or more in renovation costs to fix the property up. But here's the real kicker, and this is what a lot of people are facing right now. In the first afternoon that this house was listed, there was about 17 all cash offers by the end of the afternoon. These were people from California, from Florida, from all over the country that hadn't seen the property, and the property smelled so bad that the owner rejected all offers for people that hadn't seen the property. But anyways, this kind of shows the craziness of trying to buy in this current market. 17 all cash offers. How are normal people supposed to compete with that? And in most cases, they haven't been. So yeah, I wanted to start off with that story because that kind of shows where the market is today. So let's talk about the current market updates. Existing home sales are down nearly 1% from May, and this number has been dropping for 4 months in a row now. And since last year, median home prices are up 26% to $377,200. And Zillow economists expect the home prices to increase by approximately 18% going through the rest of the year. And in May, properties sold on average in 16 days or less. This is down from 38 days from a year prior, and down from nearly 100 days in 2012. But homes have been selling faster and faster for over a decade now, and this is partly due to the supply issues. Next, 54% of homes sold above list price. This is up from 26% a year prior as well. So you can see all of these numbers are just going up and up over last year. And because of that, the average home price sold for 2.2% above list. But this is where it starts to make sense as to why these numbers are the case. From last year, housing inventory is down 21%. And most of the decline last month were in single-family home sales. These were one that had benefited from the migration from large cities across the country. And multifamily sales have remained about the same as where they have been months prior, but they are starting to rebound to more normal levels as everything gets back to normal. In fact, a lot more people are going back into the office than expected, so this is going to help rentals as well. And overall, sales are beginning to get back down to pre-pandemic levels. This means on average there's less offers per house compared to where they were just a few months back. So this is a really good thing for anyone that's trying to buy a house. But this does not mean you're going to have an easy time buying a house still, because it's still very competitive. And there were just just over 1.2 million previously owned houses for sale in May. This is up 7% from April, but still down by 20% from the year prior. This, as I mentioned, is one of the largest gaps about getting the supply shortage back to normal. It is starting to trend to the normal range, however, it is obviously going to take some time for normal levels to be back. So we could be looking at 2022 or so before things get back to how they were before the pandemic. And as of May, there were about 2.5 months of inventory on the market. A healthy market should see somewhere closer to 6 months of supply. And this number is also down from 4.6 months a year prior as well. And here are some of the facts that I'm sure any of you that are trying to buy a house without paying all cash have been running into. Institutional buyers are outbidding first-time home buyers. First-time buyers dropped from 34% a year ago to 31% last month. This means less sales are going to first-time home buyers. And here's the one that nobody without cash can compete with, and that's all cash buyers rose to 23% versus where it was a year ago at 17%. So this just makes it even harder for people that don't have a ton of cash to buy a house on this market. And a lot of the people that are able to get a deal without paying all cash are paying way more than they should be. Overpaying has been going crazy this last year. And so if you wish you had bought a house last year before the pandemic hit, then you probably also wish you had stockpiled a bunch of lumber as well, because lumber prices went crazy this year. And this has not helped the supply issue at all either. New homes being built has already slowed tremendously over the last 10 years already. And the pandemic only magnified this issue. Building prices across the board rose, but lumber prices is the main thing that we focus on. In March of 2020, lumber was $303.40 per 1,000 board foot. But ever since the pandemic started, lumber prices have started going up slowly and then very quickly. If you take a look at this graph, you can see that at the beginning of 2021 is when lumber prices really started going crazy. And by May of this year, lumber prices hit an all-time high of $1,670.50 per TBF. But luckily, with everything getting back to normal, lumber demand has started to go down and supply has started to go back up. So this is causing lumber prices to start coming down. As of June 21st, 2021, prices are at still a staggering $897.90. This is nearly half of what they were at their peak last month, but still 3 times higher than they were a year ago. So if you're looking to build or do any renovations, then you probably want to wait a little bit longer if you want to cut down the cost of lumber. They'll continue going down as supply continues to go back up, but I don't think we're going to get back down to the low point of $300 like they were before the pandemic. Hopefully we can get close to that, but I don't think that's going to get back to normal for a long time, if ever. So hopefully new construction will get back on pace and start making up the gap for what we need. And this would help prices settle down and make it more affordable for people to actually buy a house for the first time. And so that's my update for housing and housing prices. I will definitely keep tabs on the market and see where things are going for the next couple of weeks. And if there's anything I see that's important, I will definitely make a video to update you guys. So definitely consider subscribing if you want to get all my updates and all my future content. And if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, I would appreciate it if you smash the like button down below and left a comment what you thought. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm and get this video pushed out to more people. So with that, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.